word, and that we all may learn from it and nourish from it and take it to heart. Amen.
Amen.
God, we say so you're driving a bus, you go east 12 miles, you turn south, you go 2 miles, you stop, you take on 9 passengers, you turn west, you go 3 miles, you take on 4 passengers. You turn north, you drive 10 miles, you take on 15 more passengers. You turn east again, you drive 10 more miles, and you take off 15 passengers. How old is the bus driver?
21. 30. 35.
Anybody?
78.
How old's the bus
I
driver?
never heard you say how old he was.
500.
How old's the bus driver?
Math is my word subject.
Okay, gentlemen, ladies, the first words I said, you are driving a bus.
Ah. Aha.
23.
This is a lesson on listening.
Oh,
That's all
praise
right.
God.
Good lesson.
Skillful listening is a non-negotiable skill for all Christians. If you want to hear God, you must first learn to listen.
Amen.
Amen.
Oh, Justin, would you take out your Bible?
Sure.
Because John 8, chapters 43 and 47. Look there. Not done. Read chapter 43 and 47.
Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear, because you are not of God.
In that verse, what I get from it, what they're telling me is, you don't hear God because you're not listening. You have other things around you, busy lives. We're always making excuses why we can't read our Bible. We're always making excuses why we can't sit down, take some quiet time. One of the hardest parts of life is just sitting back and listening. We have a lot of things to do. Everybody's got so much to do. You got a job, families, vacations, bills. Listening is very important in any relationship. Be it your wife, because I can guarantee you, most of us guys out here, every man in here, your wife talks. That's all it is. It's just yap. You ain't listening. You don't want to listen. Your kids, your friends, your family, your job. But most of all, the most important person to listen to is Christ.
Amen.
Okay? It is said that you can sit there all day long. Gandhi said that a person that talks only is talking about what he knows. But a person that listening is learning.
Praise God.
Psalms 46, verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God. I am exalted." Be still. How hard is that? For a child, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible. But for us grown folks, to be still is not the hardest thing in the world.
Nope.
But with all that we have going on these days, we're just not taking the time to listen. We're always focused on the wrong things. Our jobs. We're focused on going somewhere. We're We're focused on what we're going to eat that day.
Yep.
We're focused on what bills we got to pay that day.
Yep.
We all think God speaks to us in grand ways. He spoke to Moses from a burning bush. He spoke to a guy named Muhammad through a donkey. He spoke to Mary through angels. But most of the time, God speaks to us in simple ways.
Amen.
Mom. Actually, no. Paul. 1 Kings chapter 19, 11 through 13.
First Kings
1 Kings
11 through 13.
chapter 19, 11 through 13.
19.
First Kings
Chapter 19.
19, 11 to 13. And he said, go. Okay.
You had it.
And he said, go forth and stand upon the mount before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind rent the mountains and brake in pieces the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind, and after the wind an earthquake. But the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, still small voice. And it was so, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out.
Stop right. Yep. The story's about Elijah. He goes up on top of a mountain. And he wants to hear God. And he thinks it's going to be the most boisterous thing in the world. Big wind comes by. Doesn't hear God. An earthquake. No God. Big blast of fire. No God. So he sits down. And the next thing he hears is a whisper. All he hears is God's voice. When you sit down and you take your time and you want to listen to God, all you got to do, you're not listening for, it doesn't have to be a big blast of anything in your head. I mean, granted, me, when he does it to me, I get a big blast. Well, most people, they're not listening because they think it's got to be something, you know, loud, boisterous, everything. I got to hear God. If you just sit back and take your time, relax, and listen, it could be a person next to you. It could be your children.
Amen.
It could be the guy in the drive-through window saying thank you, and it be touch your heart.
Yep.
God does not have to speak to you through a burning bush. God does not have to speak to you through a donkey. God can just sit there and speak to you through anybody.
Amen.
It can be your 5-year-old child coming to you, and I've done it. He's coming to me and told me, Daddy, where's Jesus? Daddy, where's God? My daughter comes up to me and says, Daddy, will you read to me?
Amen.
My son comes to me, Daddy, will you read to me? They want to listen. They want to hear from God, just like you do. Easiest way to learn a language is what, Sean?
Total immersion. Be thrown into it.
What's the easiest way to learn a language, Rachel?
Study it.
Repetition. Easiest way to learn a foreign language is repetition, right? Easiest way to learn a rec language is repetition. Same way, easiest way to hear God is to listen. Repetition. Listen, 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 listen. But, that being said, with our hard lives, we get tired, broke down, and we stop. We get on to something else. Hardest thing to go back to a foreign language is when you stop. We don't retain our memories. Most of us, I guarantee you, when I went to high school, there's 1,000 things in math. I couldn't get none of them right now. Not a word. Not a word. You know? My daughter comes home with these math problems now. She's in the 3rd grade. I'm going, sure.
Yeah.
No clue what you're on. He says, but if you get tired and you break down, what have you learned? You come back. Try it
Amen.
again.
Praise
Over
God.
and over and over. In where's this one? 1 Samuel 3 through 10. You don't have to get. I know it. Samuel, back in the day in the Old Testament, God hardly ever spoke to anyone. It's very rare that God spoke to anyone. In 1 Samuel, Eli is lying in bed, and Samuel is lying in bed, and God speaks to Samuel. Samuel runs to Eli, you come to me. Samuel runs to Eli, you come to me. What do you need? Eli says, I didn't call you. Go lay back down. And the Lord speaks to Samuel again. Samuel. He rushes to Eli. Yes, sir. What do you need? What can I do for you? Eli said, I didn't call you. Go lay back down. And the 3rd time the Lord speaks to Samuel. Samuel. He rushes to Eli. Eli, what do you need? I didn't call you. He said, but if you do hear this voice again, go lay back down, you hear this voice again and say, yes, Lord.
Amen.
So Samuel goes to lay back down. He says, Samuel, Samuel. And Samuel says, yes, Lord. Back then, nobody had ever heard the voice of God. It wasn't very, very rare. So when Samuel heard it, he was just blessed. And Eli was like, you are chosen. Even when you're sleeping, you can hear the voice of God. In your dreams, you can hear the voice of God. He can tell you things. Women dream a lot of dreams.
Yep.
And they have some very, very, very weird dreams. But sometimes they're telling you something. Sometimes you got to focus on not so much what the bad things were, but maybe there's a message in the good things.
Amen.
Like y'all know, the devil's a lie.
Amen.
So in your dreams, he can still mess with you. Maybe in all the bad things you're dreaming about sometimes, maybe that good message is in there and you can think about it. Who here thinks they cannot hear God? Who here has never heard God? If you're sitting down there, the most talkative person I know right at this point in time is my wife. I guarantee you, she can talk to everybody. Besides my brother Sean, she got done. They can talk to a total stranger and catch a conversation for hours. I myself am not a talkative person. I don't talk. I'll sit back down and I'll listen to everybody's conversations. I like to listen. Except when, of course, I want to do something of my own. She wants to yak, but, you know. If you sit back, and Apostle Paul is the same way, you can sit back and listen to y'all, and you come up with them all your problems. This is what you're supposed to do. But if you notice how good of a listener he is,
Amen.
he sits down and lets you finish. And listen. And takes in and absorbs what you're telling him. Because if you didn't do that, do you think your problem would be solved? Do you think you'd get off your chest? Because you ain't solving your problems. You're venting.
Right.
That's what, there's a lot of people that don't want to listen to that. They don't want to sit there and I don't want to hear your problems. God hears all your problems, does he not? You tell him every day. You pray to him. You yell at him. You scream at him. You thank him. You bless him. You're venting. That's what you're doing. And he sits back and he listens to you. Every single day he listens to you. I pray to him every day. Every night, every morning. He's got to be listening. I'm hoping he's listening. Praying he's listening. He's answered my prayers, I guarantee you. So what does it take for you to sit back when someone comes up to you, sit down, if they got a problem, and listen? What does it take back when God comes to you, and he's got a problem with you? You sit down, and you listen.
Amen.
Here's where you fix your problems. Here's where you fix this. If God did everything for you and didn't tell you nothing, your life be fulfilled? It wouldn't. You want it in specific order. In order to do that, to have it in specific order, you've got to sit down and listen to what God's telling you.
Amen.
Can I get up in the morning? God tells you you can. Can I go to work that day? God tells you you can. Can I drive to work that day? You gotta listen. God tells you you can. I was late the other day to work. I got up 15 minutes late. I'm going, oh my God, I gotta rush. And I sat back and I stopped. I'm thinking, you know what? God had wanted me to get up earlier. He would have let me. There had to be a reason. There's always a reason why you do something. Granted, sometimes you're just stupid, but you know, we all have those dumb moments.
Could have avoided a car
Could have avoided a car accident. You're right.
Or ticket.
I got a ticket. Here you go.
Amen.
Miss Summer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not hard to listen to God. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Take a break. Sit down. Bow your head, or do I do like I do? I don't bow my head. I raise my head to God and listen. What are you telling me, Lord? What is it that I'm doing wrong? Or what is that how about this? What is it that I can do for you today
Amen.
to help my life? Why do we not listen? Anybody give me the most given answer? In the whole entire world, 100% of the time, the most given answer is why do we not listen? Anybody?
Think we know it all.
Anybody?
Think we know it all. Talk too much.
They don't
Didi?
think you why we not listen.
Why do we not listen? What's the most given answer in the whole world?
Just too occupied with your because you don't want to.
Most given answer in the whole world is we just don't want to. That's the most given answer. Well, by scientific studies, the most given answer why we don't listen. We don't want to.
Amen.
We got other things we want to do. We want to sit back. We want to play our video games. We want to watch our TVs. We want to cook our meals, work on our cars. We don't want to listen to other people's problems.
Mm-hmm.
What if God didn't want to listen to your problems?
That's right.
What happens then? What happens if God doesn't want to listen to you? He says he'll never forsake you. His unconditional love. He listens to all your problems.
Amen.
How hard is it for you to sit down, take 5 to 10 minutes a day, be quiet, and listen?
Amen.
I make a challenge to you. Want to, and just take some time out of your busy lives. Just sit back, look around, sit down, have some quiet time, and listen to God. And actually hear what He's telling you. And not miss out on all the great things He has to say and that He can do for you.
Amen.
And that you can do for Him. I had a couple of verses that went for this sermon, but I think that pretty much gives the gist of it. If you sit back, take your time, and relax, just like the man told me this morning, he went to me and said, you need to sit back, you're doing too much. Sit back, relax, and listen. That's all I have.
Amen. Amen.